So thank you everyone for turning up instead of being outdoors. And the good thing about the warmth and the nice weather is that the heat can help you with the stretching, get into deeper stretches. It's generally better for the muscles when you're doing exercise. So we can think of it as a hot Pilates. Let's go ahead and get started. So as usual, let's start off with our alignment. Feet hip distance, slightly bent knees, hips facing forward. Let's have that pelvis neutral, so forward and backwards until you find that spot somewhere in between. Navel into the spine, so tuck the belly in, shoulders back and down. Chin parallel to the ground, and that string as usual pulling you all the way up to the ceiling. So we've got our lovely starting alignment. As usual, go ahead, if something looks a bit uneven, just take a look at your reflection and just give a gentle correct your hips or shoulders. And then let's go straight into our breathing and then the core engagement. So breathing, hands on the lower ribs. As usual, reminder, we're breathing in through the nose, all the way into the lower back, exhale through the mouth. And again, deep inhale, keep the shoulders relaxed, inhaling all the way into the lower back, exhale through the mouth. Let's go again. Deep inhale and exhale long. Let's do 2 more. Really focusing on, rather than keeping the breath in the chest, you're breathing into the lower back. Okay. Let's go ahead and add in that core engagement. As always, repetitive for those who are regulars, but hopefully it helps you to get the hang of it as well. Core engagement, first thing, pelvic floor, hammock pulling everything up, a hammock in between the legs, pulling everything, all your organs up to 100% and then release by a third. Let's go straight in and add in the belt or corset just under the chest, pulling inwards on the tightest notch. We've got our up and we've got our in. Keep this powerhouse area, as we call it, nice and tight. Let's do 3 breaths here. Deep inhale through the nose. Feel those fingers slide apart on the inhale, exhale, draw the abs together, think up and in. Keep that feeling of tightness of the core. Let's do 2 more like that. Deep inhale. Into the lower back, exhale, fingers come together on the exhale. Let's do 1 more. Cool. Let's start with our shoulders. So let's go ahead and do our usual shoulder rolls, our usual mobilizations. Up to the ears and round. Always forwards first. And then let's go straight back into our rolling back of the shoulders up to the ears and round. Okay, from there, let's go into our little dumbwaiter exercise that we did on Monday for those of you who were in the class. Let's start off with the elbows in, touching the sides of the body. So we're like this. Have your arms out straight with the palms facing upwards. And imagine that you've got these 2 trays full of drinks on either hand, and you don't want to spill them. So the elbows are all the way into the body like this. And we're just going to bring those trays in, exhale, bring them out. So when you're doing this, you're going to feel the upper back, mid back doing the work. Inhale and exhale. Let's just do a couple of these. You're focusing on the shoulder blades, the scapula, doing the work. Okay, let's extend those arms out a little further to either side, and let's do the same thing. So elbows are now, elbows are now away from the body. Let's keep those trays nice and balanced. Let's do the same thing. Bringing those trays in and then out. Keep the navel into the spine, keep the alignment, and imagine those trays not spilling. Perfect. I can see some really, really nice balanced trays happening here. And then the final one, let's have our arms all the way out with those trays. And we're doing the same thing, knocking things over. So keep the arms out to either side, and we're doing the same thing. You're bringing those trays in, and then all the way out, all the way in, all the way out. Keeping those trays nice and balanced. Let's do 2 more. All the way out, 1 more. So it's good for the arms as well as the upper back, getting a bit of a stretch. Perfect. From there, let's go ahead. Let's do our thoracic twist. Let's do the traditional one. Hands in prayer, thumbs to sternum. So we've got our thumbs to the chest, elbows are out. We're keeping that nice alignment. Shoulders back and down. We're going to do our twist. So let's take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Keep the hips and the navel forward as we do a nice spinal rotation to one side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. So let's just keep going. You're going to do a nice deep inhale to center. As you exhale, you twist and rotate, keeping the hips forward. I'm going to come and have a look and see how you guys are getting on with your twist. Perfect. Lovely. I can see a lot of nice, make sure that hips stay exactly facing forward. Yes. For everyone who's got their videos on, I can see that you're doing a great job. Really focus on keeping that navel facing me. Don't twist the hips. If you feel like the hips are twisting, go ahead and just bring them forward again. It's just the spine getting a rotation. So let's do 1 more to each side, and then we're going to go straight into our, we'll go into a lateral leg raise from there. When you've done your last one, let's have the hands on the hips and let's do a bit of work on the glutes. So from here, you can come to one end of your mat. And all you're going to do is take an inhale. On the exhale, you're going to lift the leg up, really, really lifting from the top of the hip and step. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to do 2 to each side. Step, lift. So you're kind of clenching the glute a little bit. 1. Really bring that leg up high so you can feel that glute getting activated. And keep that leg straight as well. Let's do 1 more to each, well, 1 more step to each side. And then we're going to go into our squat. Okay. When you're ready, let's go into our squat. Today, let's do feet hip distance, arms long, palms facing each other. And we're going to keep this position, and we're going to keep our arms where they are. So take an inhale, zipped up core, exhale, sit. Let the knees go slightly wide, but not any further past the toes. So you can, when the knees go slightly wide, you can feel it in the glutes. You're keeping a straight spine. Inhale, keep those arms straight, palms facing each other. Exhale again. So I'll show you from the side, from here. You're just going to really sit low, keep that spine straight. Inhale as you come back up. Exhale, sit low. Keep going. Let's do a few more. Exhale as you sit, really sit low, stick the bum out. Inhale as you come up. Let's do a few more. Getting nice and warm, even warmer. Okay. Let's do 2 more in your own time. Exhale, sit. Last one. So our thighs and knees are getting nice and warm too. Good form. Cool. As usual, we're going to do our balance. I always say that this is something people should practice every day. As I always mention, it starts to diminish with time, your balance skills. So let's start to go into our balance exercise. The one that we're going to do today is our piston, the one that will go into a piston squat should you choose to do that progression. So from here, I'll show you from the side. Stand up nice and tall. Navel into the spine, get that core engagement, and you're just going to bring one leg forward, keep both knees straight, hold it there. So if you want to challenge yourself, bring that leg up higher, but keeping both legs straight and keeping that posture. So this is still coming from the core. And then if you want to challenge yourself further, as usual, keeping that leg straight, you can go ahead and do little pulses on the supporting leg. So I'll let you do whichever version you want to do. Really think about that balance. Think about that piece of string pulling you tall. Okay, let's go straight into the other leg, same thing. And just go ahead, keeping the belly sucked in, whichever version you're doing, keeping that balance. Let's do 2 more on that leg, and then we will stop. And as it is quite warm there, anytime you want to go ahead and grab a drink of water, please do so. Don't want anyone dehydrating during the car. So from here, when you're ready, we're just going to do gentle ankle rotations and wrist rotations at the same time. We're going to do one way and then the other, getting everything mobilized. So Pilates is a full body workout, exercise, stretch, mobilization. Every little part should feel nice and warm and stretched. And then from there, when you've had a drink of water, you've got yourself sorted, let's do our usual 3 roll downs. And on the last one, we're going to do we'll do a balance today on the last one. So from here, take your position, feet hip distance, shoulders back and down. Take an inhale, exhale slowly, rolling down. And as usual, 1 vertebrae at a time, just hanging down. Keep the legs straight, the knees straight if you can. Bad back people like myself, go ahead and you can bend the knees, whatever feels good. If you bend the knees, you can touch the mat if you want to, but you're just hanging really loose and floppy, hold it there. And then when you're ready, you can just ever so slowly, like a bicycle chain, slowly start to uncurl back up, head comes up last. And then let's go ahead and do the same thing again. Inhale, exhale, tuck in the chin to the chest. And slowly start to roll all the way down. Heavy arms and head. Hang loose and floppy, keep the lower back safe. The head should feel relaxed here. And then you're going to exhale, slowly come back up. Head comes up last. Enjoy this one. This one is a really, really nice way to wake up the spine. It's really, really good for all the discs and everything as well. So let's go ahead and do our last one. Exhale, slowly roll, keep that navel sucked in, keep that chin tucked into the chest. And this time you're just gonna crouch down here and we're going to do our little hip flexor stretch with balance. So from here, from the side, I'll show you from the front for those who haven't done it. Hands in prayer, elbows, so you're on your toes. Keep that nice straight spine as best as possible, and your elbows are pushing out the inner knees. So you're getting a really deep hip flexor stretch here as well. And you're holding that balance, and just hold, breathe. Keep pushing those elbows out, so you're pushing the inner knees out. And then just gently, when you've got your balance, tip to one side and then the other, just rocking from one side to the other, keeping that balance and staying in that position where you're pushing out the inner knees with the elbows as well. Okay, perfect. We won't stay there too long. Let's come to cross-legged. Let's do our head and neck, and then we'll do a side stretch as well. So from here, cross-legged, or however you want to sit, however feels comfortable, it's fine. And again, shoulders back and down. We're going to sit nice and tall. From here, look down, and we're just going to do our gentle head rolls one way and then the other. And then let's pull the head gently away. Inhale, exhale, look down. This time we're just creating space between the head and shoulder and looking down. And then we'll do one to the other side. Okay. Our side stretch today, let's go ahead. Let's do Mermaid Stretch, and we're going to do 2 on either side. So if you want to stay cross-legged, you can, that's totally fine. Otherwise, you're going to bring one foot, one leg behind, bent, and the other foot in front like this. And if you can see what I'm doing, so I've got black leggings on. I don't know if it just looks like, can't really tell what I'm doing. But otherwise, you're going to sit in this funny mermaid position. So sitting up nice and tall still in this position. From here, let's just go and stretch to the side on the exhale. Really enjoy that stretch down the side of the body. And then let's switch the other way on the exhale. And then we'll do one more to each side before we switch legs. Lovely. And the other way. Okay, switch legs. So now the other knee's behind you. And then let's do the same thing. And really, really nice. Nice. Remember, if you want to challenge yourself, the hand that's on the mat, just go ahead and move it further away. And then your hand that's above will have to stretch further as well. And then let's do another. And then when you've done two on that side, let's do a nice little spine stretch because we're going to do a reverse plank. So from here, again, cross-legged, inhale, exhale, tuck the chin in, and we're just going to do a little curving and straightening. So on the inhale, straighten up nice and tall. Exhale, gently curving the lower back into that nice V-shaped curve. We're going to do a few of these. Inhale, up nice and tall. I'll show you from the side. So when you're curving, make sure that the ears are away from the shoulders. So the shoulders are relaxed and down. And you're just curving and straightening. Really lubricating the spine. We'll do one more. Inhale up nice and tall. Last one. Okay, so we're getting our spine warm. And then from here, so let's just do a couple of breaths with the hands behind you, sitting cross-legged. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and lift the hips up and hold. So squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs together. Tilt the head back, open out the chest. We're just going to hold it. And lower down. Let's do one more of that, and then we're going to go into the reverse plank. Inhale, exhale, up, squeeze the abs, squeeze the glutes, open out the chest. If that's too much for you, you can stay seated and do the same thing, whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to go into reverse plank. So if this one feels too much for you, you can stay in the position that we were just in, either seated and opening out the chest or lifting the hips. Otherwise, reverse plank. From here, get ready, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs, and you're going to come up onto the heels. So this is a good one for the arms as well. First, we're just going to hold it, squeeze, lift up the hips, open out the chest, tilt the head back. Really squeeze the abs, squeeze the glutes to help you, and then roll it down. From there, we're just going to do, let's do 3 leg lifts on each leg. We won't spend too much time here. When you're ready, back up into the reverse plank, and then you're going to do the leg lift. So 1, and then 2, squeeze abs, squeeze glutes. 1 more on each side. Squeezing the abs to help you, and then roll down. Okay, from there, let's go into roll down and let's get into tabletop. So from here, let's do some twists. So from here, sit up nice and tall, squeeze those abs, roll down halfway. So you've got that zipped up core, you're using the core engagement to help you stay in this position. Let's have our hands grasped together. And all you're going to do is inhale, exhale, bring the arms to one side and then the other. So we're just doing these little twists, but you're using the core engagement to help you. And breathe with it. Inhale, exhale as you twist. Keep the soles of the feet down on the mat. So we're just going to do a few little twists. Perfect. Very nice. Okay, cool. And then from there, palms facing each other. Let's just do a couple of nice roll downs using the abs. Extend the arms, extend the legs. Feel like someone's pulling those fingers away. And then on the exhale, squeeze the abs, arms come back up. And then you start to peel upwards, using that core engagement back to seated. and then we'll roll back. And this time we're going to go into tabletop. So from here, lower spine flat. Let's have our feet touching today. So instead of feet hip distance, they're going to be touching. Remember, knees are above the hips, feet are slightly higher than knees, lower spine nice and flat, core engaged. From here, we're going to go into Pilates pendulum, palms facing down. If you remember this one, you're just going to drop the knees one way, back to center, exhale, drop the knees the other way. To feel it in the core, it might be that you need to extend the legs slightly forward as well. And remember, you're trying to keep the lower back as imprinted on the mat as possible, but we're just dropping the knees one way and then the other. You'll start to feel it in the tummy. Just bring the legs slightly forward as well. Okay, let's do one more to each side. And then just hug the knees for a second. The next exercise that we're going to do circles, kind of facing downwards on the mat, but I'll show you first. Same position from here. You're going to sort of bring the knees into the chest, and then you're going to extend, keeping the feet together, so legs are long, and then the knees come back in. So you're scooping, keeping those feet together, the legs extend, you're drawing those circles on the mat, using that core engagement. When you start to extend the legs straight with the toes pointed, you're going to start to feel that pull in the abs. That's what you want to feel. Inhale. Exhale as you draw those circles on the mat. Keep the palms facing down, and that will help. And then we're going to switch direction of the circle. So same thing, different direction. Exhale, stretch those legs long. Inhale as they come back in together. Drawing those circles, keeping the lower back flat. Keep the toes pointed as best as possible. Okay. Nice job, everyone. From there, we're going to go, you can bring the legs down, go ahead and hug the knees for a second. Roll the knees one way around the chest and then the other, so you're just circling the knees one way and the other, getting that lower back massage. Next thing we're going to do, if you remember this one, legs back in tabletop. So now the legs can be hip distance. You're going to push the hands against the thighs. At the same time, you're pushing the thighs against the hands. So keep the head and neck down. Abs are drawn in together. Exhale. You're just pushing the hands away and at the same time the thighs away. You're going to start to feel that resistance, which is going to start the abs drawing together. As I always say, this is a great one for my postnatal clients to help with ab separation, but it's really, really good for the core in general. So let's do a few breaths and then we'll bring the legs down and we'll go again. So inhale, exhale, really, really push the hands away, push the thighs away at the same time. Keep breathing. Hold. Bring the legs down. So let's do one more round. Inhale, exhale, push the hands and push the thighs. Keep breathing. Okay. Drop the knee in one way, arms in T position. Just go ahead and look the other way for our nice little lower back stretch, and then we'll do the other side, and we'll do one more on each side. Okay. Final thing here before we move on, we're going to go into our bridging. So we'll do gentle bridge. Today, let's just do 6 bridges. We'll have our feet hip distance, and we're going to go into the bridge. And then when we're in the bridge, we're just going to float the arms behind. Feel like someone's pulling your fingers behind at the same time as rolling down. And we're going to do 6 of those. So nothing too fancy today. Lower spine nice and flat. Navel into the spine, palms facing down. Let's go. Deep inhale. Exhale slowly from lower back to mid back to upper back, peeling off the mat into that high bridge. Squeeze abs, squeeze glutes to help you. We're going to hold it. And then we're going to float the arms behind. Keep those hips up. Inch the fingers behind as we slowly start to roll one vertebrae down. all the way back to the flat back position. Arms come back down. Let's go ahead and do 5 more like that. Deep inhale, exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those abs, squeeze those glutes all the way up into that bridge. Hold it. Think of those hips being nice and stable. This is a great exercise for hip stability, as well as shoulder stability and obviously the abs. Inch the fingers behind, slowly roll it down. Arms come back down. Let's do our last 4. Inhale, exhale, up into the bridge. Arms behind. This is great for the lower back as well. And then arms come back down. In your own time, we're going to do our last 3. Coming up into that bridge. Extend the fingers behind. Roll it down. And let's finish off with our last 2. Inhale, exhale, squeeze the abs up into that bridge. Inch the fingers, slowly roll it down. Get ready for the last one. And then hug the knees. When you've done your last one, let's go straight into our cat stretch. So we're going to go onto all 4s. Let's come into a nice cat stretch. Another one I always recommend for daily exercise. Hands underneath shoulders, knees under hips, prop up the toes, give them a stretch too. Navel into the spine, crown of the head forward, look down at the mat, take an inhale. Exhale, tuck in the chin. And reverse. So we're arching the back. Exhale, reverse. Really start to just tuck in the chin and arch. Exhale, reverse. Inhale. Get all the lovely oxygen in as you arch. And exhale, reverse. Let's go ahead and do 2 more in your own time, nice and slow. Really, when you're arching, really stick the head up and stick the bum out. Really, really get that nice arch. And then let's do 1 more. Perfect. Really, really nice. And then from there, let's do 1 final thing in this position before we do our cool down. As usual, it goes too quickly. From here, let's do our donkey kicks. So we'll do a bit of glute work here. Same position. Now, all you're going to do is bring 1 flexed foot up. And all you're going to do is keeping the back as straight as possible, keeping that position. We're just squeezing the glute as we bring the knee in. Keep that foot flexed. You can feel that little lower back extension. And you're not bringing the knee all the way back into the other knee. They're just pulses. Keep that navel sucked in. So keep the belly button sucked into the spine. We're not letting the belly hang out like this. We're keeping it nice and tight. And we're just doing pulses on one leg. Keep going. Feel those glutes getting activated. Feel those glutes doing the work. And then go ahead and switch legs. Let's do the same thing. Keep that foot flexed. And we're just pulsing. Keep that navel into the spine. Keep that foot as flexed as possible. I can see lots of lovely donkey kicks happening here. Keep going, guys. Nearly there. We've nearly finished. Just going to do some lovely stretches. Perfect. Go ahead and come into child's pose, so knees wide, feet together. Bring your head down to the mat and stretch out those fingers. As I always say, even in this position, in this resting pose, I like to do a nice stretch. So if you know me by now, you know without me even saying it, go ahead and stretch those fingers even further forward. And you'll feel that real lengthening of the spine, that really, really nice deep stretch in the lower back. And breathe. And again, stretch the fingers even further forward for the last time. And then we're going to come on to our back for the final bit. We've done our hip flexors already, so let's do number 4 and then stretch, and then we'll do our alignment check. So just to finish off, ankle over the opposite knee, pull that leg in. With each exhale, as you pull that knee in, test yourself, your flexibility, even more push yourself. with the exhales, and you'll feel an even deeper stretch from the glute to the knee of the opposite leg. Great for sciatica, great for the sciatic nerve to get a good stretch. And then let's switch legs. Let's do the same thing, opposite ankle over the knee, pull that thigh in and breathe. And then go ahead and rest. Extend those legs forward, feet fall either side, palms facing up. Close the eyes. Let's just have a little minute. You can tilt the head slightly backwards. Totally relaxed face. Relax the jaw. Shoulders are nice and relaxed and down and not hunched. And just let go. Feeling nice and stretched. Midweek. Most of you have done Monday as well as today, so you're all doing really well. You've really gotten into a habit of doing these classes, which is fantastic. They go so quickly, which is even better. It means that you've exercised without even really knowing about it. And hopefully it helps motivate you, feeling positive, releasing those endorphins. You can get on with the rest of your day. Feeling in a great mood. Feeling healthy most of all, which is the most important thing, especially during these times. Let's just focus on the breathing. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Listening to the sound of the breath. You get that oxygen into the chest, into the belly, all the way into the cells, anywhere that needs to go. And again, gently give the toes and the fingers a wiggle. We're going to slowly turn to the side as we really slowly come up to standing to see what our posture is saying. Okay. Let's have a look. Starting alignment. I don't even need to tell you anymore. You know what to do. Hips forward, shoulders relaxing down. Most importantly, that piece of string helping to stretch out the spine and elongate you. Let's go into the heel raises. Take an inhale. Squeeze up and in. Navel into the spine. Hold it up onto the toes. Keep that lovely tall posture and lower down. Let's go again. Up onto the toes. Nice and controlled, nice and long. Let's do two more, and then we're going to hold the last one. So notice in your posture now, do you feel taller, more even? Let's hold this last one. Keep the head still. Keep the head where it is, and just lower the heels. You can feel that stretch in the hamstrings, in the spine, and give everything a shake. So as usual, these classes go so quickly, but hopefully you feel nice and stretched, and I will see you all on Monday. I hope you have a really nice weekend. Well, yeah, weekend, so I won't see you. Enjoy the rest of your week. As I mentioned before, for anyone that didn't catch it, please find me on Instagram, London Wellness Edit. I'm doing all sorts of wonderful stuff on there in terms of nutrition and everything else. So it might be of interest to you. And I am in sunny Portugal, so I will post lots of nice pictures of beaches too. So thank you so much for joining. And I think you're all incredible. All of you regulars have done such a great job. You should be super proud of yourself. Thank you.